When I was in college, my friends and I would always joke about how different our work ethic was compared to Westerners. There was this one time that we had an all-nighter where we didn't sleep for 36 hours straight because we were working on a very important school project. At around 2 a.m., one of my friends started yawning, so I told him to go take a nap. He came back after a few hours, and we continued working until sunrise. This went on for a few more days. But what I remember the most is that during those 3 days, none of us slept at all. We took turns in sleeping, but we didn't let anyone sleep for too long because we had a lot of work to do. Now, if you are someone from the West, that might sound crazy. You might be thinking, dude, why didn't you guys just take turns in sleeping and let each other rest? That seems like a very efficient way of working, and that's exactly what we did. But to someone from the West, that sounds counterintuitive. It goes against everything they have learned about productivity. In this video, I'm going to talk about Filipino work ethic and how it differs from Western work ethic. Some of the things I'm going to mention may not apply to everyone, but these are observations I've made throughout my life. If you are not Filipino or you are not from the West, then chances are you can relate to some of the things I'm going to talk about. If you are new here, welcome. I am a 23-year-old professional who works in tech, and I am currently based in the Bay Area. So let's start with punctuality. Filipinos are notoriously bad at being on time. I know this is a sweeping generalization, but there is some truth to it. And I think there are two reasons for this. The first reason is that Filipinos are naturally relaxed people. We like to take our time and enjoy life. We don't like to rush things. And this is a good thing. Being rushed and feeling pressured is never a good feeling. But sometimes being too relaxed and laid back can cause problems. When you are in a time-starved environment such as the Silicon Valley tech industry, it can be problematic. Punctuality is a highly valued trait here. Deadlines are sacred and things need to move fast. So this is one aspect where I had to make a big adjustment when I moved here. The second reason why Filipinos are not punctual is because of our culture. In the Philippines, we are taught that it is impolite to say no to people, especially people who are older than us. So if your boss asks you to come in on a Saturday or work overtime every day this week, you will likely not be able to say no. And this results in people being late to meetings because they are still finishing up their work from the previous day. Filipinos also tend to overbook themselves. We are always saying yes to every opportunity that comes our way because we do not want to disappoint people. This causes us to be constantly overwhelmed and stressed out, which leads to us not being productive and not getting anything done on time. Another thing I noticed about Filipino work ethic is that we tend to work more hours than people from the West. I believe this is because of our culture as well. In the Philippines, we are taught to work hard and make sacrifices in order to get ahead in life. This is because the economy is not very stable and there is a lot of competition for jobs. So if you want to get a higher paying job, you need to work harder than the next person. I believe that this mentality is what causes Filipinos to work long hours, even if it is not necessary. Many Filipinos I know work 8 to 9 hours a day, even if their job does not require them to do so. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can become a problem when it starts to affect your personal life. Working long hours should only be done temporarily when you are close to a deadline or you are trying to finish a big project. But many Filipinos I know do this on a daily basis. Moving on to taking breaks. In the Philippines, it is common for people to take a break in the middle of the day. This is usually in the form of a long lunch break. I noticed that when I was in college, my Filipino classmates would leave the campus to go eat at a restaurant. They would eat for an hour or two and then come back to school. Now, this is frowned upon here in the U.S. People are expected to stay at their desks and work through lunch. Taking a break to go eat is seen as lazy and unproductive. So I had to adjust to this when I got here. But I still try to take quick breaks in the middle of the day to clear my head. Even just taking 5 minutes to step outside, breathe some fresh air, and stretch your legs can do wonders for your productivity. Next, I want to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is proactivity. Proactivity is something that Filipinos are notorious for lacking. I have had many bosses who are not proactive, and this has caused a lot of problems. For example, if something goes wrong, they won't take initiative to fix it. Instead, they will wait for someone else to do it. A lot of times they would leave it up to me and I would have to take the initiative to solve the problem. Now, being proactive is not something that is taught in the Philippines. We are taught to follow orders and not to speak up. So I had to learn this skill on my own. It took me a long time to become comfortable with speaking up and giving my opinions. But I knew that if I wanted to succeed in the workplace, I needed to become more proactive. Now, being proactive is important in all aspects of life. If you want to get ahead in your career, you need to be proactive. If you want to succeed in business, you need to be proactive. You can't just sit around and wait for things to happen. You need to make things happen. I also noticed that Filipinos tend to avoid making decisions. This is probably because of our culture. In the Philippines, we are taught to be submissive and not to speak up. We are taught to respect our elders and listen to them. We are also taught that it is rude to disagree with elders. So this is probably why Filipinos tend to avoid making decisions. We don't want to rock the boat or cause any conflict. Now, avoiding making decisions is not a good trait if you want to succeed in the workplace. You need to be able to make decisions quickly and confidently. If you are always hesitating and asking for permission, you will fall behind. Of course, this doesn't mean that you should make decisions that are not well thought out. You just need to be able to trust yourself and your judgment. Lastly, I want to talk about something that I have both good and bad news about. The good news is that Filipinos are natural leaders. We are confident, charismatic, and we have a natural ability to inspire others. The bad news is that Filipinos tend to abuse their power. This is probably because of our culture. In the Philippines, there is a lot of social pressure to be successful. We are taught that if we are not successful, then we are not worthy. So some Filipinos will use their power to take advantage of others. They will bully their co-workers or use their position to get ahead. This is not what leadership is supposed to be about. Leaders are supposed to uplift and inspire others, not tear them down. Those are the main differences between Filipino work ethic and Western work ethic. Again, this doesn't apply to everyone, but these are just some of my observations. Do you agree with the things I mentioned? Let me know in the comments below. If you are Filipino, what are some things you think your work ethic is missing? And if you are not Filipino, what are some things you admire about Filipino work ethic? Let me know in the comments as well. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content. Follow me on social media for more content, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.